Vicky Marking. I was just trying to remember the first time we met. Can you remember?
Oh, the first time we met. I don't know.
Where were you working then?
Probably.
You had so many jobs.
Not really. But I was probably the marketing director at the mall when we met.
At the mall.
I'm going to guess, at Champlain Center.
Then you went to
Then I was at Meadowbrook Healthcare.
Meadowbrook.
Yep.
I spend a lot of time there because I'm old and I have a lot of friends who are trying to rehab over
Say,
there.
loved my time there. And then I've been with PrimeLink now for 5 years.
Is that possible?
I know, time goes by fast.
And you've been on Facebook for at least 5 years. That's how I keep up with your whole family and all of your friends.
Yep, that's how a lot of people keep up with each other.
I love it. So let's talk about what PrimeLink is doing these days.
Well, we are today we are having a little bit of fun at the expo.
I hope so.
Our theme today is the Fast and the Furious, since everybody really loves those movies nowadays. So we're talking about our Fast and Furious fiber optic internet service. And for fun, we're doing some mini races with Matchbox cars, and later we're doing some races with RC cars, and we've got some good prizes, giving away some gas cards and a gift certificate to Yipes, and for fun.
This business is so competitive, and PrimeLink manages to hold its position. I don't know how. It's amazing.
I think because we are a small regional company and we try to pride ourselves on really good customer service, and our network here in Plattsburgh is all fiber-based for the internet service, which is the best kind of transport that you can have, gives people the speed that they need, and we really take care of our business customers. So I think that's how we are able to hold our own and continue to grow. Not only hold our own, but continue to grow and expand.
One smart connection. That's what the sign says. Right?
That's right. That's right.
You've had so many chapters in your professional life. I don't know what the next one might be, but I hope you stay with PrimeLink.
No, this is I am very.
You got a home now?
I do. I think I have a home. I think I am where I'm going to be for quite a while.
Great to see you, Vic.
You too.
Have a great day.
Too. Thanks.
See you later. Rod Giltz. When we first met inside the door about an hour ago, I said, when did we first meet? And we talked about the radio station and the late Don Pelkey, who was the owner back then, and a lot of good times in this North Country. But Northern Insuring has been around forever and ever and ever.
So have I.
Yeah, me too. Calvin for a little shorter time, but years ago we started a series of interviews with the late Ardo Monaco.
Did you really? And
the Land of Make-Believe.
I work for Ardo.
We know that. That's why I'm bringing that up.
Okay.
He called you my protege.
Really?
He used you as a prime example of one of his kids who turned out good.
Well,
I don't know how many turned out bad.
Depends on who you talk to,
But tell me about your background. When did that start with Ardo and the Land of Make-Believe?
I grew up in All Sable Forks. I got to be 16 years of age, looked for a summer job. And I talked to the Manning boys, John Manning and Dan Manning, who had parked cars for the Rice people up at Santa's Workshop. And they said, you want to make some money and a great job? Get a parking lot job at the Land of Make-Believe. So Tommy Douglas, Randy's father and I, and a guy named Charlie Light went down to the Monaco place. Louis Monaco's, and they're in a restaurant. We walked in the door, kids, we want to see Ardo. Jesus Christ, what do you want to talk to him about? I know you got to cut that out. But he scared the hell out of me because Louis used he was a little rough around the edges. But that was really the genesis of it. Worked for Ardo for 4 years. Just a wonderful experience as a kid and a great job.
Young people who don't know much about the Land of Make-Believe should make a study of it. Yep. Ardo Monaco was a prince among men.
Yes, he was.
A dear friend. Calvin and I did how many shows? 8, maybe?
Did you really?
Including a 90-minute interview with him on the occasion of his 90th birthday, just less than a week before he died.
Really?
And we showed old clips. I mean, I've got old slides from my kids who are now in their 50s and 60s going to the Land of Make-Believe when I first came here in the early 1960s. So
we've got a whole bunch of memorabilia from the Land of Make Believe, and Carol Blakesley Colleen was at our house yesterday picking up stuff.
She's in politics now.
I know
Running
that.
for Area 7, I saw in today's Press Republican.
I think she's, I won't say whether. But in any event,
amazing.
a whole bunch of Ardo stuff that
Oh, yeah.
over the years, we used to stop there after skiing and go in and have hot chocolate with Ardo, bring our kids in, and just reminisce. You know, he
loved kids more than
yeah.
anything. He loved animals. He loved his animals.
Yeah,
We
sure.
showed him old movies of his animals. When I sat on the side of his bed and he sat there, we're looking at some
Yeah.
old movies, and the tears are running down his face because he remembered a little donkey or a little kid. He would invite neighborhood kids to just dress up and run around there all day.
It was the real deal. I remember when he was making toys, and I would have been maybe about 12 or 13 years of age, across the street from the Land of Make Believe,
yeah.
and going in with my father and seeing the wooden toys that one person making them, you couldn't make them fast enough to make a real living at it.
People don't know that Ardo Monaco made over 3,000 of those prototype toys.
Did he?
Sold them to major toy companies around the
Who then
world.
reproduced,
And they reproduced them. And he never made a lot of money.
That's correct.
When we first walked in, we saw a replica of R2-D2 from Star Wars.
Oh yes, I remember it being in his place.
It went
Yes.
floating down the river. He somehow recovered it and fixed it up all over again. So they talk about a legacy.
That was a heartbreaker, that flood for him.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I had to bring up that connection with
All
Ardo
right.
fondly.
Okay.
So Northern Insuring has been around for a long time as well, long before you got in there, right?
Yes. Goes back to the early 30s, Gordy, 1930. Wealthy businessman. If you want to skip, you want me to go on?
No, go ahead.
Wealthy businessman running a finance company. Needed somebody to write the insurance coverage on the cars that they were financing. That was the origin of the agency. My father had no wealth whatsoever and felt the way to create something without any capital was to get into the insurance business. So he came up to Ausable Forks as a teacher, depression, there were jobs in teaching, and then got connected with these gentlemen, was really looking to do this. Ran 2 jobs, late 30s, probably 38, 39, almost had a nervous breakdown trying to do too much.
Kidding, yeah.
Said, I've got to walk away from the teaching and commit to this full time. One thing led to another. I.H. Cahoon, who was one of the original partners, gave his ownership of the agency to my father in his will, free and clear. The Cameron connection, Cameron's daughter was a partner of Ardo Monaco's. Cameron connection was bought out in the mid 50s, and now I've got a third generation
I noticed that.
involved, and I'm very fortunate.
Isn't it great? And it's
It
great
is.
to be here at the expo again.
Yes, it is.
Because I know Northern Insuring has been at most of them.
We've been at all of them.
27 years.
Since the beginning, that's right.
I love it. Rod, you're a good friend.
Hey, you are
Thanks
too.
so much for everything you've done.
Well,
If I were Bob Hope, I'd sing thanks for the memories, but I can't sing.
And I
very
see
well.
you're writing for Dan Alexander now?
Did you notice that?
Yes, I
In
did.
7 of his little newspapers, somebody sent me a note from Virginia saying, my sister cuts that out every week and sends it down here. She says, what'd you talk about last week? I said, very important topic, back houses, outhouses.
You know what you and I are is we're memories. We remember things people have never knew about or didn't have the pleasure of forgetting.
Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. I amaze myself.
We're still upright.
You got it.
Taking nourishment. Rod, have a great
God
day,
bless
my
you.
friend. Good to
deal.
see you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Cal.